I just bought this from the usual place. Looks brand new. This is how it came. Bosch Professional Go screwdriver. Very nice box of bits. No charger. Empty space. And forward and reverse button. But if you press this button, which presumably makes it go, nothing happens. Leave that there, nothing happens. Don't know what the little light there might do, but it never lights up. Now I've got a charger which has got the right end on it, so I'm assuming that this is good enough. So I'm assuming that if I put this in here, this would charge it up. But when I put that in there, nothing happens. So nothing still works. No lights. The charger is on. I guess this does not charge. Right, looks like this end cap comes off with a couple of screws, and they look like they're T9. So we'll undo those. Right, that one's undone. One's undone. Yeah, that just comes off. Battery, circuit board, little light in there. So does this just pull out? I guess it might do. Now last time on the green one of these I had, you couldn't just pull things out because the switch was in the way. Oh, I've just noticed it's got these little metal tabs here, and that one is so loose it is falling out. It sits just under the screw, and this one, oh, it's a bit tight to fit, so that goes under there. But I don't think that's going to affect whether this comes out or not, because it still feels solid. Now this switch might lever up, but that switch I can't see what that does. And this bit at this end, I can't see how that comes off either. So it's a real puzzle so far. Right, this switch cover does just lever off. It's nerve-wracking because you think it's going to snap, but I managed to get a screwdriver underneath there and that levered off, so that came off. I still don't know what you do with that though. I think this button must pop out just like that one, so I've managed to get the spudger underneath the edge there. I can't get a screwdriver under there, so but oh, it's moving a bit. I don't know if you can see, but it's tilted it up a bit. Let's hope it comes out without it actually breaking. Oh, it's in there tight, I'll give it that. Alright, oh well. It's got little legs on it, that's come out, so now there's still no sign that any of this moves. No, Nothing's moving. I can't see any way this can come out the back. It looks like it comes out the back, but I can't see any way that it does because there's just no movement. So I think the only thing I've got left is this. And does this come off? Right, I'm trying the screwdriver. I've got it a little bit apart there. A little bit more apart there. But I can't get the screwdriver to fit in any further around. It's just strange. If this is meant to come off, it's not obvious how. Yeah, I've got it that far, but it will not go any further. Oh! Oh, did something give? Oh no, I think it's just clicked back on its side. Oh! It does pop off. Well, there you go. So that bit pops off. So now what happens is this. Oh, something moved. Oh, look at that. Body's coming out. Right. Button still does nothing. That's in the middle. Put that forward. Button does nothing. Put that back. Button does nothing. So the whole thing is still dead. What's... Is that the go switch thing there? There's something down there. But surely you haven't got to do that and press that. Well, that doesn't do anything. That's there. No, still nothing working. Right, multimeter set to volts. Let's see if we can find any power. I think that's the negative end there. Well, obviously it's not the negative end. I thought it was. Let's swap it round. The battery's pretty flat. Right, the gear end seems to be this. So I'm hoping the motor can be separated. I'm a bit worried about these springs. I'm not sure what's holding them in. They're not trying to jump out yet. But I think if I lift that slightly, that can come forward a bit. And then there's the same thing on the other side. Just there, and that can come forward a bit. I just don't want these two springs disappearing as I pull it apart. Come on, why are you not moving? Oh, moved a little bit then. Perhaps this whole case has to split. Because that, yeah, I think this whole blue case has to somehow split. There's a little plastic notch there. It's tiny. I can just see that breaking. There's another one there. Oh yeah, and then there's, look, that slots together there. Oh, I knew this was going to happen. That's fallen out. Oh, what's that? A bit of black plastic. Surely that's not to do with me. Oh well. Can we get that? Oh, we've got that one out as well. So that's that. let's see if we can lever these apart and push that little notch down at the same time. Oh, yes we can, look, that's come apart. And then I think there's the same system at this end. Sprung apart on its own, I barely touched it. Can we do the same on the other side? That one's already apart, so it's just a case of this one here. Might even be able to do this one with fingernail power. Oh, and we can. Oh, that's what that... I could see this piece of shiny stuff. Looks like it's a temperature sensor. Right, so let's get this back over this way. So that then just pulls apart, and that just pulls apart. So that's your halves. Still don't know what that black bit is or where that's come from. Tiny little motor. So is that, oh yep, that is a switch, so it does require that switch. So it's different to the one that I repaired before, because the one I repaired before didn't have that switch, so I wonder what that is for. Surely it's not a press and hold. Then that slides forward and you just about make it out there, that hits there. But this is the power lead. I tried this just now, and it doesn't seem to do anything. But I haven't identified on here where the power is coming in. I can't work it out. It's very awkward to get to because you can see the battery is right over the top. So I think we might have to take the battery out before we go any further. I've just put a piece of card over the circuit board to try and protect the circuit board. Let's see if we can get this positive end unsoldered. Come on, off you go. Oh, there we go. That's the positive end unsoldered. I think this end is not so much of a problem because we can move it till it's leaning outwards away from the circuit board. Or maybe I'm not getting enough heat. There we go. That's off, and then we just need that. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a temperature sensor, so if we lift that slightly we can probably pull it out. Oh. Oh, there we go. That's our temperature sensor, so that can go back on later. Now, we should be able to connect another battery to that while we've got this battery on charge. Right, battery is on charge. Let's see what we can get by just connecting a different battery. So that's minus, this is plus, so we've got power, supposedly. What does that button there do? Oh! It's giving a little pulse. Oh, and we've got oh, well, we had a yellow light. Where's that gone? Oh! What if we press the end as well? Why are we getting that little pulse, I wonder? Put that in the middle. Oh, we get nothing, but we get a yellow light come on. Now, what if we press that button at the end? Nothing. And we put that. Doesn't want to move. Oh, that's it, over to there. So I wonder why we're only getting that strange little pulse. So what is that actually doing? Is that end turning? It's giving a tiny little pulse for some reason. Well, I don't know what's happening there. Well, I suppose it's possible that the power supply's lost power, but it just seems odd, and then that little light, yellow light comes on and goes off at will. It's obviously related to pressing this, because every time I press this, my finger's in the way, but I press that, the light comes on. And it... Oh! Oh, hold on, so if I press that... Oh, no, it's not doing it. Well, that's strange, isn't it? Oh. Well, presumably that's normal then, and it's supposed to be working like that, so presumably our problem then is we can't get any charge into here. Right, it's going to be hard to get you in where you can see this and the meter, but hopefully you can just about make out the meter. If I get on this very end connector to the USB, and then this very end, oh, there we go, 4.97, 4.98 volts. So we've got 5 volts coming in. It's I guess we should have something happening. I'm guessing that there should be like a light on or something saying that we're being charged, and clearly we're not being charged. And if I put these onto the battery, let's see what the battery says it's doing. And the battery is nothing. So whatever is coming in at the USB is not going anywhere. Right, it looks like these two silver spots are test points, and so if I go onto here, let's bring the meter in where you can hopefully see it there. If I go onto these test points, there's that silver dot there and that silver dot there. That's the wrong way around, but it makes the point. So there's the dot there, there's the dot there. Again 4.98. So we've definitely got voltage coming in, and that's on the circuit board itself, which means that the mini USB here, the micro USB, is connecting to the circuit board because we're picking up the voltage on the circuit board. So something that way is not working. I don't know if this helps because I'm trying to magnify a little bit, and I don't know that you'll ever be able to see the magnifier and the meter at the same time. But if I put the meter there, a steady angle, but if I put negative there, positive there, we get 4.98, so let's call it 5 volts. If I take the positive off and I connect it to the battery positive that would charge the battery, we get nothing. If, and I'll swap hands, I keep the positive on and I go to the negative side of the battery, I get 5 volts. So it looks like the negative line must be connected straight away across to the battery pole somewhere, and so it's this and all the components it goes through presumably that is the problem. Well, I've given the battery a charge using my little DIY charger. This was about 24 hours ago, so it's had plenty of chance to go flat again if it wants to. And we've got 4.19 on the multimeter, so that is in good condition. Now I'm wondering if the screwdriver charger won't work because this had got too low. Some chargers are like that. If the voltage goes too low in the battery, they will not charge. So I'm going to put this back in the screwdriver and see what happens. Right, that's the negative end on, and then that's the temperature sensor. It's tried to stick itself on already, so if we get that back up. It's funny because I'm pretty sure that's sat like that, which strikes me as awfully close to the circuit board, but never mind. So that's the temperature sensor back on. Right, I've got a bit of blue tack underneath it to hold it all still. But we can't press the buttons because the buttons are on the other side. Right, turn it over. If we press the button at the moment, nothing should happen because I think we're in the middle there. Oh, but a little green light comes on. Oh, no, it's gone off. Now what happens if we press this trigger button at the end here? Little green light comes on. Goes off. If we put that to the forward position, now we'll try pressing the go button. I'll hold this just in case it starts. Oh, that's interesting. So it starts for a bit and then stops. Oh, now it keeps going. Right, and what if we do this trigger? It's strange the way it gives that little pulse. So it goes for a certain amount of time, then it stops. Your guess is as good as mine why, but maybe it's supposed to do that. Let's go the other way. Oh. But going back the other way, well, that is strange, isn't it? Let's try pressing this button. It works fine then. I don't know, so sometimes it works fine, sometimes it doesn't. Now the thing is what does this USB thing do now if we plug this in? Right, there's a 5 volt USB charger. I can't see which way around it's supposed to go. I think it's that way. Ah, and we've got a green light. Now we didn't have that green light before, so I wonder, does that mean it's charging? I've searched over the whole board. I can't see anything at all wrong with the circuit board, so I do wonder if the reason it would not charge was because the battery voltage had gone too low. I think the only thing I can do is put this all back together again, use it for a bit so that the battery was run down a little bit, then try and charge the battery up, but obviously not let it get as low as 1 volt. But that's interesting that we've now got a light on with the charger plugged in, because we didn't have that before. Right, as you can see, I've managed to get the circuit board in. It clips under there, it clips there, and then this part clips together, and then this part clips together. So that gets us that far, but it's very springy, so when I turn it over, we're left with quite a big gap here. And I don't think that's right. I think what's happened is this sensor's not quite in the right spot, and this is catching up on that sensor. So I need to move that sensor. It looked like it was in the right spot, but I can't, because you can see it's hitting it. So that sensor's got to move, or the battery's got to turn slightly, but I don't think there's an awful lot of room for the battery to rotate. There might be. Let's just see if that will work a little bit. No, still something is stopping it going any more shut, and I still think it's something to do with that sensor. It must be slightly in the wrong place. It looked like it was in the right place, but I'm wondering if it needs to go that way a little bit perhaps. Right, I think I've finally got it. The trick seems to be to keep this sensor as detached as you possibly can, and it needs to be this far over as you possibly can, because the top of the sensor mustn't hit this piece of plastic, and the side of the sensor mustn't press too hard on this piece of plastic. So it's almost as if the sensor should have been underneath in the first place, but now that's more or less gone on, I should be able to just stick that down there. It's very strange, because it's almost as if they put the sensor in last, but how they would have got that piece of tape in there onto that, I don't know. To be honest, I don't really understand why manufacturers put a temperature sensor on these lithium-ion batteries, because I've never known one get hot while you're charging it up. They get warm, but I've never known one get hot where you would have to worry about how hot it was, but there you go. Right, that gets us back to there. This is obviously working. What we're missing are these. So these two little springs, and they go in there, one there, and there's a little peg at each end. It looks like the peg might be shorter at this end, but I'm not 100% sure, but it does look like it. But I'm wondering if we can get that end into there. It might be that we're using this pair of tweezers, we can encourage it to go across into where it needs to go, but then maybe we can't. Oh! I think we can, but not with this pair of tweezers, because it twists. Let's try. Oh, nearly! In fact, that is so close, I think that might go. Yes, there we are, so that's one. But obviously this stops it, there's like a little wedge bit there, that stops it going too far. So now we need this one. So I still haven't found out what this little bit of plastic is. It's obviously snapped off of somewhere. Right. That goes on to that one. Now, can we do it without tweezers? Can we just do it with a finger? Oh, look at that. Yes, you can just do it with your fingers, aren't you? Then clever like tweezers. Right, now that obviously works. What about the button? And the button obviously works. So we seem to have all of that working again. It's strange how on this side it clips there, but there's no clips at this end. It's got little alignment pins, but nothing to actually clip it, and it could have had something there, but it doesn't look like it did, or if it did, it broke on assembly. So I'm going to put a little bit of Kapton tape on it, just so that there's a tiny little bit of tape at this end holding that piece together. I don't know whether it needs that or not, but I mean, helpful if I could put it on straight, although I don't suppose anyone's going to see it, so they're not really going to care whether it's straight or not. But if I just put that on there like that, that's got virtually no thickness to it, so it shouldn't interfere with the body cover going on, but it will help keep it nice and tight. Body, screwdriver, oh. That isn't going all the way in, is it? What have I done wrong? How do I push it further? That's going to turn it on whenever I push it. It needs to go in further than that. So how do I do that then without... That's just going to turn that every time I push. Oh well. That's it then. Right. Won't go any further than that. Oh, just about... Oh, it's gone out now, but the green light was on. I suppose if I'd put that in the middle, that would have made more sense. We wouldn't have had to listen to it then, would we? Never mind. Right, next we've got these little metal things. I think they just help lock it in place. That's one. Doesn't want to go. Come on, in you go. No. Oh, there it goes. Alright, that's that. Which means that this there's a USB connector, so that slips on like that. T9 screwdriver. I'm just going to do this by finger rather than with a power screwdriver because I don't want to risk over tightening everything. Right, that's in. Right. That's the button. Green light comes on. Green light goes off. Push that forward. Got one direction. Push it back the other way. Other direction. Back in the middle. Right, we'll put those on last. We need to work out how this goes on next. Right, at first glance it looks like there's only one way this can go on, because if you look, there's a small tag there, a small one there, but a larger one there, and it might not be very obvious in here, but there is a gap there for those to go into, and that one is larger. And on this side there's one there which is a bit smaller and one there which is a bit smaller. So I don't think you would have any choice. I think that would have to go there because it wouldn't fit on anywhere else. You can hear it just slot. That's sitting above, and then it comes round and it slots in. So I don't think we have any choice but to say that's the correct position. And then this, presumably, pushes on, and it has. It's a little bit crooked, but it's on, and then that gives us our settings: max, screw, min. Right, switches. Of course we still don't know what is happening with this, but we'll try. Hope you can see the light is not on, and then we'll plug in the charger. Green light is on. So we can only hope that this means it is attempting a charge. Right, so now it's just a case of getting these things back on without anything breaking. I really hate this design. Right, forward back, so that's on. But this is an absolute nightmare. You can't put it on wrong, because if you look at the shape of the holes and the shape of that, it's got no choice. And it looks like you've got to put this long leg in there first at the front, like that. And that's it. Right, same bit of wood as usual, same screwdriver bits. Right, now let's try it as a push first. So we'll push it to forward, and then we'll just push down. Right, that's on the lowest setting. Now let's try it with the button instead. So I'm going to press the button and not... Oh! Well, I'm not quite sure. How are you supposed to press the button but not press down? You can't. Obviously if I push down it starts. If I press the button it starts. But I need to press down. Yes, I'm not sure what's achieved by using that button. Right, let's try a different setting. Pull that one out. Alright, now we'll go back in, but we're on setting number 2 now. Oh, almost all the way in, no trouble at all. Right, setting number 3, let's pull that one back out. Feels very powerful, I must say. Right, there. Oh, almost all the way in. And it appears to have that instant stop that the Panasonic ones have, so that's quite impressive. Right, out. There we go. There are no numbers, but we go. I suppose that's 1, 2, 3 perhaps. Try one more. Where are we? Oh, we want to go forwards. Oh! It's gone straight through. Well, that's the most powerful screwdriver we've used, without a doubt. That's split the wood, push the screw right through. So, well done, Bosch Pro. All working. Only time will tell, does it charge? We'll find out one day.